So first of all, we should talk about, because I know you have so much wisdom, and I could sense by people I met that worked with you, that been through here. But we have to define what is yoga, what is meditation, and why does yoga and meditation can improve in your condition. What is our biological condition, our mind, our state of affairs in the world, and can help us not only improve life, but extend life.
Exactly.
So what is yoga in your...
First, it's very important to understand that yoga is unity. Unity of not only yourself,
okay.
you, but everything.
Okay.
So yoga exists without you. Yoga is. Yoga is there. Is the unification.
Okay.
The thing is that we going to be the practitioners of yoga means that we are the ones who have to unify first us, all the aspects that conform us, which is our mind, our spirit, of course the physical body with the systems, the experience or knowledge that we have, the soul. This is the purpose, the soul. Either we can call the soul, for the ones who doesn't believe in soul, the consciousness. Consciousness will be in soul.
Okay.
Spirit will be the energy that it will be different than the psychologists, because the spirit will hold, it will connect the physical body, the mind, with the soul or the consciousness. We can talk soul and consciousness like one thing.
Okay.
But I don't talk about subconsciousness, unconsciousness, regular consciousness, human consciousness. I speak about a supra-consciousness. That in this case will be something like consciousness, not necessarily with humans. The consciousness, the supra-consciousness exists there.
Okay.
Without us.
Yeah, it's like a field that predates, that is immanent, that has nothing to do with time, that is just there, and we are somehow informed by it, we are in it, or it's just...
The point is that this is why we exist. We don't need to exist. We are particulars, perfect particulars.
Yes.
Perfect particulars of consciousness.
Okay.
So, why to exist? We come to explore in the outside what is consciousness in the outside. Because we feel that that we are not outside. We feel the outside is there, the cosmos. But we are outside. Right. The inside, and I don't talk about the inside of us, the inside of everything. So we come from this consciousness, supra-consciousness, supra-energy, and we come to the outside, we can say the inside of the cosmos, to explore from the outside what is to be conscious, what is to be energy.
I think it was Edinger who said, we can't be a complete human being without a transpersonal center. We have to have something that also guides us in a different dimension of this conscious mind, of objective mind, always I want this, I want that, I have plans, I want this, I want that. Life has to be more than that.
Yes.
It has to be,
About that, first, to finish about the yoga of unification, we can say that yoga is consciousness. Yoga is the science of consciousness.
Sure. Agree.
If we can reduce it, it's not if we can see it as a spiritual practice, but the spiritual, it will bad interpreted of a religious practice.
Yes.
Or no. So consciousness, everybody can access to consciousness. The nature of us is supra-consciousness. But somehow it's like we forgot that our nature is that. So if our nature is supra-consciousness, our natural way to live is meditating. Living in contemplation, living with nature, interpreting the messages of the energy, interpreting the energy in every single way that the animals, elements speak to us, and then we can melt to them to be one. But somehow we forgot this. It's like we are so focused in the physical body, so focused in the mind, so focused into knowledge, that we are too busy with these three bodies that we also have, that we cannot see inwards. Because if we could see inwards, immediately the body will respond correctly. Immediately the mind will respond correctly.
Yeah.
And the knowledge, it will be a tool to use it as a benefit. Then we have another body, we call it the Ananda Maya Kosha, which is the body of joy, the pleasure. There is so many issues about this word, about pleasure.
Yes.
People said, no, we have much about many religious dogmas that says pleasure, you shouldn't have pleasure, you should avoid it. Others, they go through pleasure.
Yeah, it's mindlessly.
Totally.
On the surface, like ripples on the surface.
Exactly.
Never go deep.
Yeah. So, the joy body is part of the spirit, part of this energy that tells us this is not correct. I don't feel good. I mean, feeling, we talked about feelings yesterday, that is love and compassion only. From that two feelings, it comes and emanates the emotions, and that emotions are the way that we learn love and the way that we learn compassion. Yeah, so we talked yesterday about if we learn as individuals when we've been very young that love is through pain or jealousy or possessiveness, then this is the way that we express love.
Okay, so if you learn to love in a certain way, that's what it should be, that's how you're going to express it.
Yes, I mean, this is the unconsciousness.
Unconscious.
You react to that all your life.
Yes, it's an unconscious way of navigating the world.
Because you didn't, as a human, you didn't learn at the beginning what is unconditional love. We only been teaching parts of the way to live the love.
Yeah.
We don't really been teach to be compassionate. We only learn parts of that, tolerance. Try to understand that person. Try to have patience. But they don't teach us.
Again, these crises we're talking about. So people are not living a life that is conscious, they are unconscious. That eventually will bring crisis, and we see that in that psychology all the time, personal crisis, and we have also major crisis in terms of human global crisis, the environment, coronaviruses, and these crises will keep coming. They're trying to teach something. So how would you go about sort of figuring out a way out of a crisis? How do we overcome a crisis? How do we,
Well, if you ask me, my field is consciousness. And if yoga is the science of consciousness, this is the way and my main point to do it. We have so many practitioners of yoga, teachers, masters, yogacharyas, in different methods, styles and sub-styles. But the problem is, if yoga is the science of consciousness, the problem is that the people is not practicing that. They are not practicing and not teaching that. They are teaching asana.
Yeah.
They're teaching very few techniques of their styles. That's why I said sub-styles. Because they reduce the methods and styles of yoga to sub-styles. What is a sub-style? They take away the techniques of the main method many methods come from millennia of time.
They strip it.
They strip it, yes. And the point, yoga, the purpose of yoga is samadhi. to reach to alignment, to reach to unification of the being together with the system in which they live, the planet, and together with the cosmos. So if the purpose of yoga is samadhi, you don't going to reach it doing asanas or vinyasa or exercise. You have to use all the techniques performed to get to samadhi, because it's a discipline, and it's a discipline that requires bravery to quick the habits. So of course, for people said, oh, I like this kind of yoga, this sub-style of yoga, or this style of yoga, because it's easy, because it is the way that I can continue to do my habits.
Okay, yes.
This one doesn't ask me to meditate. This one don't ask me to be disciplined.
It doesn't challenge you. It doesn't take you out of a zone of comfort.
Exactly.
And say, I want to grow. Growth, individuation, becoming conscious, it is a painful process. Sometimes it's difficult, and you have to have the courage to go through it and say, here I am, this is me, this is what I'm bringing, this is what I'm becoming. And it is, indeed, it is a process.
And you know why? Because everything becomes a product in the world. Everything is a product. Everything is to sell. If this product has to have the marketing to sell, if I have to propose a method or a style of yoga that demands discipline, surrendered of your old habits, well, doesn't sell. So I want to sell a thing that gives me money.
Easy. Give it the fast food. Give it the quick solution.
And then, plus, I want to encourage the ego to people so that they're happy and continue in this style of yoga.
If you bring somebody and you destroy their ego in the first lesson, that would not be good marketing.
No.
It may be good for the person, but not good marketing.
Of course, yes. Marketing is easy way to obtain everything. Easy way to obtain samadhi. It's not possible. I mean, it's not that it's difficult. If you show the correct way, it's not difficult and it's not expensive. And it's not like only for the monks, only for the swamis, or only for the ones who go to the caves. It's our nature. It's our right to live in supra-consciousness. So if you just meditate, if you just penetrate in you, it will be easy to find it. People they think that yoga is something difficult, acrobatic, postures, photographs, artistic photographs. It's not. So, if there are millions of people teaching, if they will awake and know that yoga is meditation. Yoga doesn't exist without meditation. Yoga doesn't exist without contentment. And yoga doesn't exist without discipline. And doesn't mean about the discipline of the body only, asanas, postures. It means the main discipline is to stop the whole habits, neutralize the habits, and entering a new world to learn new ways, to explore what you don't see. Open your eyes to the unknown.
Yes.
Whatever you learn, just forget.
Beginner's mind.
Just forget what you. Okay, I know I have that, but let me try. Let me be a child. Let me be a baby. Let me go there and explore. But explore from the inside. Neutralize whatever is there. Because if we don't do it, we continue to do the same thing. There's some students who sometimes they get in problems. And they say, well, for better that I do, I try to solve the problem. And every time I try, one way or another, it's getting worse. And I call it like centrifuga. When you are in a incorrect path, no? The energy is already not working. It's
circumambulation.
Exactly.
Circumambulation.
But
you're trying to figure out how do I get to the center.
But it gets a centrifugal. It accelerates. So accelerates, and it gets a strength to attract more of that problems. And because you are so busy in this nebula, in this turbulence, you cannot see quiet. You cannot see the outside really. You are confused. So the best way to do is stop. This is what happened now in the global way with coronavirus. People have to stop. People have to be in the house. People, they have to think. They have to think not for themselves, to think, whoa, what is going on in the planet. And the point is, we have to stop, relax, and then observe, contemplate, neutralize, and again go back and make a new step in the planet, new action, but with a new way.
With new consciousness.
That there will be no mind.
Yeah, I just read this. I just read a beautiful article this week about how by Václav Havel, which became the president of Czechoslovakia, he was a playwright, said, the change will only come with consciousness. You can't say, oh, a system's going to solve it. That's capitalism, socialism, communism, this ism, all kinds of isms will not going to solve it. Okay, so finally, let's talk about the thymus.
Okay.
I showed you how the first scientific paper came out that reversed human epigenetic aging. So, meaning people became younger by just rejuvenating the thymus, which I think the thymus almost feels like it's a master controller of aging and everything happening in all different organs. Of course, it is the training center for your immune system, which is very needed right now because of the pandemic. We need the T cells, the B cells, we need the white blood cells to create a response to any intrusion, any virus, anything that is not you. You have to recognize it's not you, remember it's not you, and take that out, neutralize it. I like the word neutralize it.
Yes,
Tell
it's
me
good
so,
express it.
So they neutralize the virus. Now, the thymus. There's something called yoga in the thymus. Can you explain me about it? I never heard of that. This was my first yoga thymus class this morning. So what is it? What is that about?
There's not only the yoga of thymus, there's the yoga of all the glands.
Oh, okay.
But the thymus, it's for me also my favorite because it's in the ancestral yoga, the thymus is called the chakra, Ananda chakra, enjoyment or joy chakra, or chakra, the force in which many forces come through. And people like to feel like chakra is something like a flower, like Padma, but the truth is a force in which many things concentrate. Circulation, blood, plexus, nervous plexus, the same gland, the movement, the energy that the gland generates, and other forces, a part of the forces of your body. But the body is already a battery that creates so much energy. So this expression of this gland, it represents a force that maintains your body healthy, and then you can talk about longevity. But no one who the body is sick can experience enjoyment. You have pain, you are sick, you are thinking, how I want to take out this pain. You cannot think about consciousness when you are sick. You cannot...
When you're in pain.
No, you don't think in evolution. In your evolution, to go up, to understand others, to give to others, to understand you better, to go to supra-consciousness. When you are too busy taking care the sickness of your body, when you are taking care the sickness of your energy or the sickness of your mind. So everyone who's sick, they live in a misery somehow. Why? Because they are so concentrated in this sickness, so concentrated, put all the energy that should go up to the consciousness is focused in the sickness, whatever the sickness is. So the thymus gland, if we improve the energy and the magnetism that generates this gland, then we're going to be ensure that most of the other glands, they will be in balance. That's why I said Thymus is important, but there's other glands. In the old times, yoga, as I said, the purpose of yoga is Samadhi. The techniques that conform was to maintain all your bodies in correct balance. One of these bodies is the physical body. So the whole yoga focus in the glands, in the endocrine system, and in the nervous system through the pranayama, the techniques of breathing. The point is that through millennia and the last decades, the focus is not to maintain the glands in a correct way. This is yoga. It's nothing that I invent myself. It's that I just collect all these yoga, the techniques of yoga, they were separated, and I put every technique for one purpose. All the techniques, all the asanas, the breathing, the kriyas, the viyamas, the meditation for each gland. And the body has to sustain the arms, the way that you breathe, the modulation in which you breathe, particular, the swara. It's the one who will affect the Thymus gland. It's a particular way to breathe, and also a particular way to move, a particular way to adaptate your body, to give a lot of blood pressure into the Thymus gland. And the breathing is a specific way, because we call prana, there's many pranas, 10 different pranas in the body, but one particular that sustains the Thymus gland, the heart and the lungs. So, if we can do a yoga in which we support each gland of the body, we want to ensure that the body is in correct balance. And if it's in correct balance, the brain works perfectly.
Awesome.
And if it's correct, if it works perfectly, your energy is totally there, awake, to then explore consciousness, to then do things. You will not be lack of energy. You will not need much to sleep, much to eat. Your metabolism will be correct. You will not slow down, and then the aging. Slow down the aging.
Yes, a consequence.
A consequence, yes.
So, sure.
Yeah.
That's great. Slow
because
down.
It's all about energy.
Yeah.
It's like we want to make the body as a battery.
Okay.
And a container of energy.
Okay.
And the ones who modulate this energy is our glands and our nervous system.
Yeah. That's interesting, because we know that one way to age very quickly is to be stressed every day. People who are stressed and live stressed, they age faster. They're like going downhill so fast. So there is a direct effect.
You drain your energy to this stress, this sickness, anxiety.
Anxiety, all that stuff. So let me ask you here one final question. I want you to, what do you think about this idea of extending life? Do you think we're going to be able to, because they're different people, okay? They're different people. In the field of longevity, there are a lot of different thoughts, a lot of different things. A lot of people want to prevent the diseases of aging. You want to get to 100, and it's possible to get to 100, which you'll have your brain intact, your biology intact, exercising, do your things, walking, taking care of yourself. It's possible today. Some people want to get to 180. Some people say they want to live forever. What is this idea about living? How do you feel about these issues? Do you think we're gonna live forever? We should live forever. We already live forever. We don't know. How do you feel?
Okay, so I think my point of view, personal.
Yes.
Is,
there are 1,000 points of view. Don't. Yes.
Well, longevity about body, because we have many bodies. So. What I would like to have in longevity, my body, longevity is equal to be that the body is in harmony. Energy and the systems, they are correct.
Okay.
So, if I want to focus too much in this longevity, I put in too much mind, and then I will lose so much energy, focus in in longevity. So the point is, don't think too much in longevity, but all your acts must be in the way to maintain healthy the body. Then the result will be longevity. But if we incorporate the mind now, why I need a how do you say it in English? Longevo.
Why do you want to live forever? You mean
No, to have a long life.
Yes.
If I don't have a correct purpose.
No, of course. Why do I have? Yes.
Then it's a life lost, and I only focus to be
yes.
long life.
Yes.
Yeah?
You don't. Yes. Totally agree.
So if you build every day in your actions healthy actions, for example in yoga, to give more energy to your body, the result will be I will live a long life. Why I want to? Then I can think why I want a long life. If it's only for my own selfish purpose, there's no sense.
Okay.
Okay. Plus, if I don't have a higher purpose, I'm not a good element for the nature, for the planet.
Sure.
So the only way to think about is, okay, what am I going to do with this all this time, meantime? What is my aim? What am I going to leave to this planet? My aim is humanity, okay. My aim is animals. But if it's only just to maintain the body, it's not enough.
Okay.
We are elements in the nature, part of the nature. So I should ask the nature, for what do you need me? Okay, then I'm going to be healthy for you planet, you nature. I'm going to be useful. Then I don't want to give you problems getting sick.
Okay.
Okay, higher. How can I make this nature, this planet, better? For who? For the future generations of humans, not. Of ants, birds, water, also humans. So, it's thinking higher. My life has to have a higher purpose, not only for this lifetime, but to push forward this intention to the future.
Generations. The Native Americans used to say, we make any decision we make, we are thinking 7 generations down the road.
So it's useless if we talk about longevity if you don't have a higher purpose. Working is like to work to be with too young all the time. Young. For why you want to be young?
Yeah.
The next thing is accept nature. Okay, you can be healthy, you can be in harmony, but just focusing to look young, it takes you in a very incorrect way. Because then your aim is to look beautiful, and you can stay young in your system and accept the age that suddenly comes into your face.
Okay.
Somehow you cannot look like a teenager.
Okay.
No matter how good your Thymus Gland is, maybe you look good.
Mm-hmm.
You look good in your 40s, in your 50s, and you look maybe 10 years less, 15 years less, but not 30.
You definitely look better, because it does affect everything.
But this is the way that we should look.
Shakti, the energy, it affects, it transforms.
So, for the humanity thinking to look good, young, it also takes you in directions of egocentric purposes. Then you don't think in others. About inner self, mind, it's eternal. The point is that the mind collects in an ocean of minds. Your mind, my mind, the other minds. at the end, will collapse in an ocean of mind. We will melt in one mind. Your individual mind will not exist. Mine too.
How will I know this is me? There's something about me. You know,
Will not be important.
This is a big question because Carl Jung said, you know, the goal in life is to build something through some deeper truth that, you know, there's something about your personality can cross to the other side.
Well, here, living here.
Yeah. But if you don't build anything in life, he says you don't survive. Anything of value, of profundity, of consciousness. He says, build something. Individuate. Know thyself. Know what you bring. Contribute. Be a part of it. So that something can cross. And so it's a big question about what does survive, right? In this ocean of mind, when we, you know, this is a big question right now.
The ocean of mind, you can visit it alive. You can visit the ocean of mind, and through visit in meditation, the ocean of mind is very relaxed, because you, in a moment, you relax to be yourself, an individual, Jivatma, and it's very relaxing because it's a moment of neutrality. Not to have your I is very relaxing. A moment of non-existence. We all humans think about born and death, exist. I observe, I look. This more or less is invisible. I know ultraviolet light is there because I check it in a machine. I can see it, the light through a computer or through mathematics. But inner self, you can visit a place that you can settle down the form.
Or they can visit you. How about that in your dreams? Or in those journeys into the country? Because we say, you know, in depth, as I always talk about, who visited you tonight? What dream brings you here? Right? What dream brings you here? These figures that populate our unconscious.
But now you told me that you study neuroscience.
I did study neuroscience.
And for sure there are some studies in which, of course, if you observe the dreams, a person sleeping, there are some moments in which you can observe that someone is experiencing something, they are dreaming.
Yeah.
But I'm sure there will be a moment in which is not movement. And that moment is when the self moves into this neutrality. You awake and you don't know anything.
Oh yeah.
A moment in which you get into delta.
I've had those moments in the very slow wave. I've had those moments where everything dissolves and like, oh, and then you come back and go, oh, okay.
But they are very little in time. In the physical life, they look very short, maybe seconds.
Yes.
But these seconds there, in the ocean of mind, is not seconds.
Okay, so what advice, let's end with this, is my final question. What advice would you give to people who want to engage and start meditating or doing yoga with the aim of improving their body? What advice would you give? Say, I never meditated before. What should I do? What should I look for? How do I start? How do I get started? How do we go about it?
Okay. First is easy. You just need to sit and contemplate. Contemplation is you just sit and observe. Of course, I could say you need a teacher to guide you to the techniques and to tell you that you are doing correctly. But if you ask me like that, I have a beautiful technique that everybody can practice, because meditation is part of human beings, part of our mind, part of our consciousness. So contemplate with open eyes. Observe. Sit somewhere. We can say we are here in Cozumel. I sit in the Malecon and I observe. the fisherman, the birds, the sunset. But I don't put, what time is it? Where the fishermen come from? Which kind of fishes they are there in the boat? I just contemplate. I don't exist. I just contemplate. I just an observant. Everything passes, the birds. I don't have to analyze, interpretate. I just have to observe. Sit there, quiet. The breathing immediately slow down. The exhalation will be so long. The inhalation will be short. And the body will relax. And the frequency of your thoughts will slow down until they disappear. Stop analyzing is one aspect of meditation. Meantime you analyze, you are not meditating.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So
you're using the conscious mind to sort of, yeah.
You can do it until you observe that you're thinking, okay, finish. It's finished. It's finished.
Okay.
Don't blame yourself because you couldn't do more. Don't think, I did it 3 minutes, 5 minutes, don't begin
okay.
incompetence. Next time I do 10.
Okay.
Next time I do 1 hour. Okay, this is the time. As a matter of you have the discipline to do it every day, no matter how much time, in physical time, after a while, it will come naturally that you will contemplate inner self. I mean, there is a space here, an atmosphere with birds, fish, etc. But now, in the night, in the day, not so matter. I don't like to put too much pressure in when. Just sit anywhere in your house, in your office, in the park, and contemplate the inner self. Maybe you don't contemplate the higher self, but maybe you will observe breathing, black, the light that penetrates your skin, the eyes, and you will contemplate that your heart beats, contemplate that you have a cold, contemplate that your knee is in pain, whatever. But you contemplate it, don't analyze. Don't ask for answers, how am I going to solve my pain, or nothing. Just contemplate. You are the contemplator without analysis and without action. Mm-hmm. Little by little, when you begin to have these two practices, outer practice, inner practice, one moment of this inner contemplation will go in a total neutrality. Suddenly you are not even observing. You are not there. So yoga, samadhi, consciousness, supra-consciousness is to take you in a point in which the I, the individual, is not important. It's important only the energy, the prevailing energy in everything. If you can fall into that energy that is so expansive, that connects all the universe, then you spread yourself. You are the universe.
And the time ceases to exist. You're like not concerned about time. You're just timeless. You're in a timeless space. Thank you so much.
This is easy, eh?
Yeah.
This is, everybody can do that.
Yeah, it's easy, but I don't think a lot of people are doing it.
It will be easy. Not thinking in time. Just the only time that will be there is every day. Every day. Every day at what time? Anytime. Anywhere.
Anywhere.
Doesn't matter. You can also do it in the streets. Even if it's chaotic. Observe the chaos. You are not the chaos.
I will try tomorrow. I will start tomorrow.